Hi, Mr. Rice. It's me, Mary Phillips Holland, and here's my ID. For our first problem, it's 2 divided by m squared minus 4m plus 4 plus 3 divided by m squared plus m minus 6. So the first thing we'll want to do to solve this is factor out these denominators, which I've done here, which makes this 2 divided by m minus 2 times m minus 2 plus 3 divided by m plus 3 times m minus 2, and this makes the least common denominator m minus 2 times m plus 3 times m minus 2. So then I went ahead and multiplied these fractions by the least common denominator to ultimately get rid of the denominator to make 2 times m plus 3 times m minus 2, which is 2m plus 6 plus 3m minus 6. So then you add common terms, and it's 2m plus 3m makes 5m, and 6 minus 6 makes 0. So it becomes 5m equals 0, because you ultimately set that up as an equation, and there's nothing on the other side. So thus you just divide 0 by 5 and 5m by 5, which means m equals 0. The second problem is 4 divided by m plus 2 minus 11 divided by 9 equals 1 over 3m plus 6. So for this, we'll want to factor out this denominator right here, because all the other ones are already simplified. So we can just bring these down here, and this one becomes 1 divided by 3 times m plus 2, because you pull out the greatest factor to simplify it down. And then in this problem, x cannot equal negative 2 or negative 9, because if you put in negative 2 or negative 9, because that would make the denominators equal to 0, which would not be a proper fraction. That would be undefined, and which means you can't solve it. Thus, the least common denominator here is 9 times m plus 2. And you don't bring this 3 over, because 3 is a factor of 9. 3 divided by 3 goes into 9 3 times, so divide 3 by itself, that makes 1. Divide 9 by 3, that's 3. So you don't bring the 3 over, and then you multiply these fractions once again by the least common denominator, which makes 36 minus 11m minus 22 equals 3. So then you combine the terms 36 minus 22, and then add that to 3, which thus makes negative 11m equals negative 11. Thus you divide both sides by negative 11, and a negative over negative makes a positive, so that's already a positive, and then 11 divided by 11 is 1. Therefore m is 1, and this solves the equation, because it is not one of these numbers that x cannot be, which the only two numbers are negative 2 and negative 9. Therefore this works.